But anyway, Sean's got his Google business page set up. And for those who were on here last time we were on, we kind of veered into talking about the Google business page. But anyway, while we're sitting here talking now, if anybody else clicks on here, why do you guys think the Google business page is important?
For review.
For reviews, that's for one. Anything else? People can find you.
Right.
That's
Search
huge.
Well,
If you haven't go ahead, Sean.
is it the #1 search engine? What's the #1 search engine that people use? Google.
It's the #1 search engine. Yeah. You know what the #2 search engine is? People don't think of this. YouTube.
Oh, I would believe that.
And the interesting thing about that is I was listening to people talk about, there was the thing about social media a couple of weeks ago. I was talking about Instagram, Facebook. They were talking about YouTube, because YouTube is different than Instagram or Facebook, because or TikTok, because on those you just scroll. I mean, you scroll. You know, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. You don't do that on YouTube. You actually search, which is different. So if you become big on YouTube, you become really big because you're a searchable piece instead of just something that people casually scroll past. So, and their suggestion on YouTube is if you want to start doing something on YouTube and get subscribers and that, go to your genre and see who is doing really well in it and just start doing what they do, because when they search them, you will fall underneath as other things that you might be interested in. So that was not any part of the discussion we were going to talk about today, but
I need to make some of these buttons less sensitive though, because you know, when you're scrolling through stuff, sometimes you hit something by mistake and you don't really mean to.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I almost sent something out last night that I
Didn't want to.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, stop, what are you doing? You know, so yeah, I mean, I'm always used to that second one where it says, are you sure you really want to make this silly mistake? And you know, and then you say no. And you know, but
yeah,
sometimes they don't give you that option.
We had a funny thing happen. My mother-in-law, who's 80 years old, she was having my youngest daughter help her with on her phone, on her Instagram, and she noticed that June has a lot of shirtless dancing cowboys.
Really?
And Connor said, Mimi, why are all these on? I have no idea. I don't know. Well, she said, you know, you have to hit follow, you know, and then they come into your feed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any idea why they're on there.
Yeah.
No idea, but June's doing something over there with her Instagram. Yeah.
Now all her secrets are out.
All of her secrets are out. What is going on over at 1937 Gate Lot? All right. So Sean and I were talking yesterday, and he's been nice enough to, and Sean, you can share your screen too, but before we do that, one of the things I was wanting to do, just because we all talk about time management, and before we get into that, I made a few notes on this book that I'm reading. It's actually Gina has suggested it. We're using it in our admin huddle up thing that we do on Mondays, but it's called 15 Secrets Successful People Know About Time Management: The Productivity Habits of 7 Billionaires, 13 Olympic Athletes, 29 straight A students, and 239 entrepreneurs. So I started reading, I'm only on chapter 4, but of the 4 chapters, I did take some notes and just to throw them out to you guys, because I think some of them make really just basic sense, and they're things we talk about all the time, but it's in this book, and I highlighted some stuff, and we've talked about this before, but okay, Jamie in here. Obviously, identify your most important task and do it the first thing each day. So whatever that is, it's called an MIT, most important task. But the hard part about that is, that's easy to say. What is the single most important task to grow your business? You got to identify that. You have to say, okay, no matter what, this is something that I need to do first thing every day because it's the thing that's most important. And there was also a quote in here. Things that matter most should never be at the mercy of things that matter least. A good little saying.
Yeah.
This is task your morning for the real work, your number one priority. That is when you focus best, says Zig Ziglar. Be specific about, stay away from the general. Like, I want to lose weight. Or, I'd like to lose weight and I'd like to lose 10 pounds in 4 weeks, and I'm going to do this. There's a difference. Saying I'd like to lose weight. Well, that's definitely too general definitely for me. But I'd like to lose weight in 4 weeks, lose 10 pounds, and I'm going to do this. That's what we kind of need to task out when we're talking about, especially if we're going to do something different with what we're trying to get done with our business. Let's see, what else did I put down here? Okay, so what are you going to focus on? Then how are you going to get it done? And what amount of time are you going to take to get it done? So 3 things. What's my most important task? What am I most going to focus on? How am I going to do it? How am I getting, because folks say I'm going to focus on something might mean one thing, but then saying, okay, I need to do that, and this is how I'm going to do it. And then putting a time clock to that. Do I give myself a week? Do I give myself a day? Do I give myself a month? Considering on the task, more or less making yourself accountable. This is my task. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is how long I'm going to allow myself to get it done. And then there were some quotes here. Success demands singleness of purpose. That's Vince Lombardi. Chase 2 rabbits, catch none. Chinese proverb. Chase 2 rabbits, catch none. How many minutes do you think there are in a day? Anybody? I didn't know this. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. So one of these guys has a big sign on his desk and it says 1,440. And the whole purpose of it is you can't get time back, can't borrow, can't rent it. It's over when you do it. So 1,440. The reason why he put it on his desk was, and then he put it outside his door. He was an entrepreneur owner, and he said he had an open door policy. So people come, hey, you got a minute? You got a minute? You got a minute? And it would be like 30 minutes or an hour. And so he posted 1,440. That's all I have. So then he said people would realize that, I don't know, maybe it's not even that important. I'll just go back, try to do something back. But just interesting to think, okay, I've got 1,440 minutes in a day. How am I going to use them? Highly successful people don't necessarily think about time. They focus on values, priorities, and consistent habits. Interesting. Then the guy talks about, actually calls it like time travel. We always underestimate how hard it is to be our best self in the present moment. The battle of this time inconsistency. How do we battle this time inconsistency? We must go to battle with our future self. That's kind of deep, isn't it? So the meaning of that is, what does my future self do to sabotage me? Okay, I work out at 12 o'clock at lunchtime, but I get too busy, so I'm not going to do that. So how would you battle your future self? Knowing that, he says, well, you wake up and you put those workout clothes on right when you get out of bed, and you do it. You block it out. So you're beating your future self, because you know your future self likes to binge on Netflix instead of read this book that's supposed to help you grow your business or whatever. So you have to block it out. We've talked about time blocking, but it's about, how do you battle your future self? How can you go to war with your future self to help your present? Because we all kind of know what our future self does. Really, we actually been through it because we live with ourselves and however old we are, we know what we do to sabotage it. Some other procrastination busters. Accountability partner, which we've all talked about, but it's in the book. It's hard to say, yeah, I'm gonna meet you at the corner of the block and we're gonna run 3 miles and then don't show up. So accountability partners is big. Reward punishment. So the reward punishment is Neil buys a bottle of wine, really expensive bottle of wine, but he won't drink it until he's completed this big task. He won't open the bottle until he's at so many listing appointments for the month.
Yeah,
That's-
but Jan will. It'll be gone by the time I do that. We need a different reward system.
So that's reward punishment. You know, what will it look like if I do this? What will it look like if I don't do this? How will I feel? The pain, pleasure, same thing. What will it look like if I don't do this? What will it look like if I do? Good self-talk. We've all talked about this. Good self-talk. I am a big producer. I am a lead producing machine. I am this. And then you refer to yourself as that, then you might start thinking I need to do things that make me that. The last one here was just do it. The old Nike phrase, you know, and what it means by just do it in this book, he gives the example that, you know, 3 miles starting out running might be a lot. So just jog around the block, see how that feels. But you got started. Now you can do a little bit more, do a little bit more. And that kind of goes back to just do it good enough, meaning I need to start doing some posts on social media. So there's a whole thing that goes into that, right? Or just do a social media post so you've done one. And then all of a sudden you're in the game. Now let's see what we can do. So good enough, just do it, can get you out of a procrastination stage that you're in to say, oh, I've already started it. So it's easier to keep going if you've started than never start. And you feel bad, think I need to do this, but once you started it, get you in the game. So I just threw that out there. Anybody wants to pick up this book, it's a pretty easy read, but I like it just because it's got all kinds of different people in it that have been successful with their time, and they talk about how they did. And then they're not all, the interesting thing about this book is it's not all the same. Everybody's got different things that they do.
What is the book called?
It's called 15 Secrets Successful People Know About Time Management. And what I like about it is it's the productive habits of 7 billionaires, 13 Olympic athletes, 29 straight A students, and 239 entrepreneurs. And the guy that wrote this book, he was a disaster as far as time management. And he's a best-selling author. He was, you know, he went through his, I think, 2 wives, worked, you know, 12, 14-hour days, and now he's taken it, and now he's become very successful. But kind of interesting. It's always good to see somebody doing something that look like, I want to do that, and they've been successful doing it. Okay, so let's go into this is a thing, a task. And Sean, do you want to do this to where you set up a Google business page while we're sitting here?
I could, or I could just kind of show everybody where it's at and.
Whatever you want to do. I mean, would it be easier to show how it's done if you like set up? I mean, who doesn't have a Google business page?
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a Google business page, and Brian Stone kind of helped me get that all set up. But I claimed it the other day. Had to fill in some more information, and ever since that, it says my website is not secured. They want me to verify through snail mail now, and when you click on my website on there on the right on my business page, it just says that it's like someone's trying to steal it. And I don't know what I did wrong, so I'm just having trouble with that.
Somebody's trying to steal your business page?
Well, they're not. It's saying that that is when it's only me that's been working on it. So
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
It closed out where you can't click on my website now. So I don't, it's saying that it's not secure.
Well, they will want you to verify through mail, and they'll mail a postcard to your office. And
Yeah.
you gotta put a code in. Once you get that, because they want to make sure that you're a real business and you're real. And I did that, so I don't know if that might alleviate that problem if you do that snail mail. Did you do that already, or?
I'm just waiting on the postcard like you just
Okay.
asked me to come in.
Yeah, it
So-
takes about
so
4 days to get to the office.
Sounds like you know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
well, that's
was
why
like-
I wanted Sean, that's why I wanted Sean, because he's kind of walked through these steps, and Sean, I'm just turning it over to you, so you can
Okay,
take it.
let me see if I can share this page.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can see my page. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you are seeing my page. Okay. This is my first time doing this, so I'm not as adept at Zoom yet. So, but if you go into Google and you know these little dots over here, if you click on that, there's a business profile there. Or if you just type in Google business page, it will pull that up.
So you just clicked, Sean, you just clicked
Uh-huh.
on the, the box of docs, and then that dropped down, right? Yeah,
On your,
Okay.
you have to go into your Google account. So if you have a Gmail account, which I have a
Yeah.
Gmail connected to my business page that I use with my STL Realtors or STL Gold Homes web email.
right.
It all dumps into that stuff. And when you sign in for the first time, it just kind of walks you through everything. What's your address, your what
Could we do that, Sean, now? Could we actually take, like, I don't know, Neil, do you have a business account, Google Business? You're on mute.
I don't think I ever set one up, no.
Can we do it, Sean?
Sure.
Or
Do
is
you want to
that,
set one up, Neil, or
is it possible to do that?
I think so.
That, what I was thinking, Sean, is that it would show just exactly how you click through if we just set
Yeah.
up Neil.
So maybe we could like do like create a new one to do like the walkthrough and that
But
way.
it might, I just don't want to mess up, I don't want to mess up Sean's,
Right.
this is his page.
Right.
So let's just do whatever you're gonna do, Sean. Just
Okay.
go ahead. Yeah, because I don't want to mess up your page on the business Google.
Well, and we could create a fake Google page, but
Yeah, I don't want to do
it's
that.
floating
That
there
can
in
mess,
the world.
that can mess everything up.
But on here, I just kind of went through and it's hard. Well, it is harder when you're not creating a brand new one. But like, it will bring you up to a page like this, and then you just add all your address and your phone number and your email, and then it will want you to verify your actual address. But this is kind of the landing page where you kind of manage everything.
And then,
the profile manager.
Sean, on the, where it says like add photo and all that, that's where you're gonna just drop down and you're gonna have a search of your own photos, right? And then you can put that
Correct.
in there. Okay,
Yeah, if I hit add photo, I have all my cover photo, my logo photo, and then all my other photos that are on my page. I haven't put any videos on yet, so I need to I'm working on a YouTube channel,
Yeah,
and connect that to this.
yeah, because you can dump all your dog videos in there.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I use is reviews,
Uh-huh.
because if you go to reviews,
And do you have to do anything, Sean, to set that up?
no,
You just click that to on, or do you have to even click anything?
you don't have to click anything. And then when you want to review, where is it?
It says get more reviews.
Well, that's just a review form, sure, via email. But I usually send them a
Okay.
text message. And what's
Sean,
different, it's different
you
on your
share
phone
that-
than,
Can you share that review that you get on Google into your Facebook or Instagram or whatever, just from that, share your form?
yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to go to my, I'm going onto my phone. Hold on a second.
Just because.
Sorry, I'm not as prepared as I thought I was going to be. I've just copied that same link before and sent it to clients as a text message. Somewhere they keep, every time you log in, it's like everything else, they move things around and change things. But there's a link when you're on your phone, because you can have the same, you have the same landing page on your phone, and there's an app for Google Business. You can just say request a review, and you just send a text message right to your client. You just put in their cell phone number, or you just pick them in your contacts, and it'll send them a link saying, "Hi, Sean, research your realtor would like a review." And then it's right there on their phone, and they can.
John, can you personalize that, or is it something that's generic to just, that's what the review says?
It's more generic, based
Okay.
on the Google review. So they all Google reviews kind of look the same. You know, it's got the 5 stars, and then you just kind of put your comments in. To me. But here, I'll go to my info. But you can see when you go to your info page, you can put, I could have put a picture of the park office here, and then all the pencils. You can update anything you want. It's odd that it doesn't have my office in here, even though I put my office in there before, and I sent the postcard to the park office. So that's weird that it's updated that. My Remax website, so then my website automatically comes up.
Mhm.
And things like that. So it's really, you know, when somebody Googles my name, they automatically come to my Google page, and my website's there with all my reviews.
Can we do that, Sean? Just go to Google you and see, show how it looks after it's all done.
So when you pull up my Google page, let me get here.
Yeah, there it is. That's the thing I was wanting everybody to see, is that,
Yeah.
that right there.
This.
So this is the reason why I think the Google business page is so great, is that when you Google Sean, over to the right, this will pull up, and it's just like when you're searching for like a restaurant or anything else, if they have that, it gives everything you need and more, because you can even do, like Sean said, you could put videos in there, do whatever, but and it shows your reviews. That gives you almost like it's an ad.
Yeah.
On a Google search. It's literally like an ad on a Google search to the right. And if you don't have that, you just show up as whatever shows up for you when you search you. So you can see that it's well worth the time to go fill in all those pieces, because this is what you end up with in the end when somebody's searching for you. And I didn't realize, Sean, until you just said it, I didn't realize that those reviews, maybe you knew this, Kate, that you can share that link out to all your clients. And then it's from Google reviews. So that's also good.
Yeah, now I can't find the button that I click on to send them to get a review, but the nice thing is that you just click this and it goes right to your landing page or your website.
Yeah.
If you've got it set up, do a Remax website and or call, it'll just call me directly from the Google page, because I've got it set up to go to my office number, which calls my cell phone. And
it makes it really easy for somebody to get exactly all the information they want, and you become the biggest person on the page.
Right.
Which is great, because that's what you want. They can see reviews. If you've got a logo, they can see and recognize your brand. So really the main thing as far as getting to the setup part, Sean, is going to your Google account, and then going to that box that has all the dots, hitting the Google business page, and then really what you're doing then is just filling in the fields, right?
Right. Or you can even just Google your name and see what pops up, and then you claim that name.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember how I started this, but I think that's what happened is I Googled my name, and because Google will start a page for you if it gets Googled enough. So that's something that you also want to kind of do, is kind of Google your name every so often to see what's out there, and kind of squash anything that's not true, or because Google will make pages and different things will make pages based on actions that you have on the internet.
Does anybody have any questions about, because I've also got a thing that I can send you guys that is it's a Tom Ferry. It's a step-by-step thing from Tom Ferry, and it also kind of goes into like how to add your videos and all the other things. If you guys want that, it's a few pages. I can email you guys, but it's just Tom Ferry basically doing Sean Reeser on step, check, check it. And if that'd be helpful, I can send that out to you guys. Yeah, okay.
I think so. I mean, I'd like to see it, just see what else. Maybe I've missed something, or
It looks good, Sean.
no thanks.
Yeah.
How long do you think it took you to set it up?
This was not even an hour. It's
Okay.
not, because it's all just kind of plug and play, and and the nice thing is once you've claimed it, you can always go back and change it. If there's something that you see isn't quite right, or
Always you can edit it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not stuck in stone if you're not happy
Right.
with what you put out there. Yeah. How many of us have the Google business page?
I have it, but when I look, like when I put in my name now, the first thing that comes up is my Remax stuff
Yeah,
instead of the Google page.
yeah. Well, I think it's definitely worth the however much time it takes to set it up, because you become prominent on your search.
Right.
That's what you want. And then, you know, if you have any reviews or whatever, if those build up, those are readily available. And once you set up this Google business page, it's easy to send the link to your friends and family and clients to leave a review. And, you know, guys, I've been talking about reviews, kind of flipping the gears here. Is I think everybody knows I do a podcast, the Nightmare Success In and Out podcast. And one of the things I went to this guy that was, you know, had really grown his business, like from 2019, he's become a big, it's interviewed Grant Cardone and other people that are big time players in the market that he's in. And one of the things that like I found out is like Apple Podcasts, they will push your podcast on their platform if you have a surge of more reviews. I don't know if that's necessarily the case on everything, but it did get me into the pocket of reaching out an hour a day to people to ask for a review. So in the last week and a half, I've gotten 30 more reviews, and it was just simply by, you know, saying, hey, I know you listen to the podcast. Apple Podcast can help promote the show. And I give them the link where they have to scroll down and write a review. But reviews are good for so many different reasons. One is that, like on podcasts, it pumps the algorithm. Obviously, switching back to us, the more reviews you have, the more it looks like you're out in the world. It grows your business. The reason I'm bringing this up is it wasn't that hard for me to do. I mean, I literally had a thing that I typed up, and then I would change the name, or, you know, somebody, a personal friend, it might be different. But for the most part, I was just going back to people who I knew listened and sent them a text, sent them and you know, thanked them ahead of time for doing it. And for the most part, they did it. So for you guys looking at reviews, just going back into your people that you know and say, hey, listen, it's the fourth quarter. I'm really trying to get the reviews that help me help more people. And here's the link, and, you know, tell them where to go and how to do it. And I really appreciate it. It's and, you know, whatever else you want to say, but for the most part, you don't even really have to call them. It's really a text with a link with a thank you. And it's really carving out, you know, 45 minutes to an hour a day to do that. And the result of it is that you become more prominent in that arena with somebody who has a good amount of reviews and 5-star reviews. How many of you guys like focus on that? Like carve out time, because I wasn't doing it. Like you actually carve out time and say, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to reach out to clients to pull in reviews. It's not something, I don't think it's something that we all do. I think it's just not something you think of because you get busy doing all this other stuff. But I really think that there's a pocket for us in business that if we've got people that we know would give us a review, it really creates an added, it's kind of an extra layer of credibility. And these reviews, when they come in, they're really great. So, you know, there's nothing they're going to say but good things about, you know, working with you, knowing you, whatever. So something to think about if you haven't been doing it. I've just been in the thick of it here in the last 2 weeks, and it feels good when you start seeing them come in, because you're like, okay, that worked. That's something I should continue to do.
So does it prompt you like with different, you know, like questions and just, you know, how do you rate, or does it give them a spot to put in
like on the Apple podcast review, there's a place where you scroll down. So I've got my page, Nightmare Success In and Out. And so you go to that page and I send them that link. So then you scroll down and it shows reviews. And then it's got a thing on there that says, write a review. And you click on that and that's where you do it. The only thing that ever gets anybody messed up on the Apple podcast thing is you have to have, if your name is taken, you have to come up with a nickname. So that's kind of frustrating for some people because, you know, Sean Reeser tries to put his name in there and Sean Reeser's taken, then he's got to become Sean Reeser 007 or something, you know, and some people get sidetracked with it. I've had to deal with probably 10 different people say, hey, I've written this review. I can't get them to this. So we have to figure out, okay, let's try this. And you know, then it accepts it. So that's the only, I don't think you have that with Google. Google's just, if that person's leaving it, it takes their name. But for the most part, this right here, I think is golden for a real estate agent. It just, it has everything that somebody's going to probably want to look for. And Sean, I would say definitely go in and build that YouTube page and share that on these because you've put in the work to have that. Same thing for you, Joe. Same thing for you, Kay. Anything that you've done, all those things are pretty much evergreen. You can just put them on there and it shows that you're, you know, in the world of video.
Sean, do you know, can you just attach that YouTube page?
I don't know.
Okay.
That might be there. That question, Joe, is actually in that Tom Ferry thing because he's big into the video thing. So I'll make sure that I send you guys that because I had saved that and I noticed I was cleaning up my desktop yesterday on my computer because Kristen said, "My God, how do you know where anything is?" I said, "Well, it is a little overcrowded." So she put all my stuff into a file on. But I ran across that and I thought, oh my God, that's timely because I just talked to Sean about this. And it was something I pulled, you know, like 6 months ago and put it on my desktop. So I know exactly where it is now. So it's in my file of training. So I'll send that out. And you know, maybe everybody can figure that out. But anybody who's done any videos and stuff, boy, put them there because you get to pat yourself on the back that you got videos to share. And they'll show. That's the great thing. That'll just be more a part of your page.
Even if it's a video, just, you know, a quick 20-second video representing yourself as an agent, willing to help buyers, investors, and sellers. Do you think that would be good to add in there as well? I mean, it still promotes yourself, right?
For sure. I mean, not only that, Jamie, I think everybody that's an agent should have one of those videos that talks about who you are, what you like, what's your, you know, what do you do? You know, like people, you know, people know, like, and trust you. Well, the like and trust thing is that gooey stuff, that vibe that says, yeah, Kay's nice. You know, whatever that is, everybody should have that video that says who you are, why why did you get into the business? Why do you like this business? What do you like to do? You know, we know that Kay likes to go check out wineries. All those different things, those are things that are fun things that people should know a little bit about. And Jamie, it only takes, you know, and that shouldn't be a very long video either. You know, it's probably 3 minutes, you know, maybe 4 minutes. But it just gives somebody, you know, that's what they sound like. That's how they are. They like some of the same things I like. I like why they got into business to help people. You know, like Sean, I think a good thing that you could do is talk about how cool that was with the single mom. I don't know if she was a mom or not, but how you helped her get into that whole thing and what a great feeling it was for you. Anything like that, I would share those victories that happen because it just makes it relatable. You just become like, Joe, you just had one of those, you know, you helped a guy out, you got through all the steps. I think talking through steps like that and helping, you know, how you help them through those steps, even if somebody doesn't have a complicated transaction, they want to know that you can handle something and get them over the goal line. And that you feel really good about it. That's a great video. And that's just, whenever you have that, shoot a video real quick and kick it out there. And, you know, make sure you put your captions on it and do whatever, so that if you put it on Instagram or whatever, people was scrolling, they're seeing. But those are so much better than just a static ad. You have a great story that happened this week, put it out there.
I think people like to hear that too, because, you know, right now, with everything going, with the market booming and all that, I mean, a lot of times I see people and they're like, oh, you must be loving life and you're probably making so much money because everything is so easy right now. And it's like, no. So, it's nice to be able to let them know that, if there are obstacles, you can still work through it and you are working through it. It's not like you're just sitting around collecting a paycheck every day.
Yeah.
You're really earning your money and building your relationships, and I think it's important for people to know that.
Yeah, I think what that does, like, Sean, what you told me, was it yesterday, the day before, exactly how you told that story would just make such a great video. It's just, those are things that are like, yeah, cool. That's why Sean's in the business, that you just get it. You're like, oh man, he feels really good about that. I'm sure that person felt really good about that. What a great thing. And then it gets away from what you're talking about, Kay, is these are these money grubbing salespeople making a lot of money doing this, and
they don't have to do anything.
They don't have to do anything. Yeah. So it gets into more of who you are, why you're in the business, what makes you feel good. And then, like I said, put in the little, sprinkle it with, who you are, so that if you like dogs, they like dogs. If you like to do, things around the house and fix things, then that's maybe what somebody else likes. But do it whenever. Don't think I've done it and it's over. Just if something comes up and it's a good story, kick it and put it on, because those are the things that build that trust factor. And there's I think, Sean, the person that you were talking to, didn't it kind of come through Facebook a little bit?
It did. It was,
Yeah.
it was an old friend of Ryan's daughter. So it was
Yeah.
a friend of Ryan's who he had known for 20 years. She contacted me and said, can you help my daughter find a house? She'd had another realtor like a year ago and they couldn't find anything. And then contacted me and I said, well,
But contacted you because she'd seen you on Facebook.
right. Yeah. She
Yeah.
just knew I was in the business and had saw my Facebook posts, and that was, and what's funny, that's how I've gotten most of my businesses, through Facebook and people just seeing what I do on Facebook.
Well, the thing about that is that the other thing that I found out from this podcast guy, and it goes the same thing to Instagram, Facebook, putting things on video. 80% of the podcasters, they don't make it past week 8. They stop. And that's kind of when it gets tough, because you gotta continue to figure out content, whatever. Same thing with like what Joe's doing. Joe's starting to get like a following with his Joe's Home Hacks. You kind of start expecting, okay, what's going to be the next thing? We are going into fall. What are all the fall things that Joe can tell me about, what I need to do around the house or whatever? If Joe would stop that and not do it anymore, you kind of lose that, what I'm thinking whenever Joe's posting, what's going to be the next thing. I just lose Joe. I'm no longer, like we were talking about dating your dater. I no longer am dating Joe. I'm dating somebody else that now is doing something and I'm watching. So the thing that I think is the number one thing about what we do is just continue to do it. Don't stop doing it. If you've got something that you're doing that's getting a good feeling or some traction, just keep doing it. Don't get tired of yourself, because it's easy to get tired of yourself. Like, God, I do this all the time. It's like, I don't want to do it anymore. I think people are tired of hearing me, but they're not. They're actually becoming part of your fan base. And that takes a long effort to start building that. So don't stop doing it, because you're starting to ride the wave. They do that thing, I forget where it was, but In Vegas, Buffini talked about, you know, in the olden days, you had this big wheel and it takes forever to push that wheel around. You get it, you just keep pushing. Sometimes they had a mule to push that bigger, but once you get it going and it starts catching, you can actually just touch it with your finger and keep the momentum going. That's where you want to be on these type of things that you know that work, and then you just kind of touch it. And like Sean, touching and telling a story that was really good, that's just kind of touching your brand, just keeping it going. Because you're getting people that are already following you on that platform. So then there's some other, you know, now a little extra ingredient on the cake, and you're just filling that up. Kay, you've been doing things that are, you know, current market stuff is really good, because now you can almost do one every week. You know, okay, what happened yesterday? Well, the market crashed and inflation went up. So what does that mean? You know, I mean, it's that we're in that mode. So whatever that lane ends up being. And the other thing that you do, Kay, that I think you should continue to do is you do these really lovable things with the kitchen. Sometimes your grandkids and kids are in there. That's fun and that's good and people like it. And those are just things to keep that likability, trust, and she's all still in it. She's still in this game, but she's in the game. She's in the game the way I like it, I guess is the easy way to say it. We want to do what they like so that they pick us when it's time to get out there and look for a house.
Well, and to know that somebody, you know, I got called out on my recipe stuff, you know, it's, somebody did, and he's like, where's your videos? You know, what's the deal? Like, you know,
Yeah,
you
let's
big
get that
slacker, you know.
Let's get that out there.
Yeah, let's get out there. So, you know, and he's right. It's like, you know.
And I'm a nag to all you guys on that, but a reason why I am is because I know what you guys are doing is good, and I don't want you not to keep it going, because it's the good stuff. It's the stuff that it's the intangible.
Right.
And if you keep it going, it'll work. Okay, we got.
I hear
way
that.
off.
I hear that
Way off. This is good.
Booz is switching to KV Core in the first
Yes.
quarter of 2023,
Yeah,
and that we'll be able to use our own videos to upload on the website without having to go through YouTube and stuff.
what was the question, Jamie? I didn't hear the first part of it.
Apparently, Remax is switching over to KV Core for our website and platform and everything, and we'll be able to upload our own personal videos without having to go through YouTube and other third parties.
I don't know the direct answer to that, but I do know that they've said that they're gonna make sure that whatever they had on the platform they have now will also be on the other platform. I don't know how that will work as far as what you'll have to go through. They'll probably have some kind of link to you. YouTube's the easiest and most popular way to share video information, but companies can also create an account where that's just part of your website. I imagine that's probably what they'll do. You'll have a way to post, but you're not even knowing you're going through the YouTube. I will say though that it's not hard to set up a YouTube channel. I even did it. So it's a lot easier. Kind of, it's like this. I would highly recommend setting up a YouTube channel, just because if you're doing anything, you can almost use it like a file folder. Like anything you do, you can keep it there on your page. And it's, you know, it takes probably 15-20 minutes to set up the page, and then you're on and going. And then you can share that.
Yeah,
anywhere.
that's so cute. My son, he knows all about that YouTube stuff and wants me to get into it. And you're right. I believe that would help with my business and everything. Putting videos on there.
It's just
creating a
one of
channel.
those, it's one of those things that's, it's the easiest place to share from. So if you, it's easy to dump into it and it's easy to share from. So there's there's a benefit to just taking the time of just having that as another leg of your business that you have is something you can use for platforms. I do think that the person who uses YouTube is a different customer that's Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. They're actually searching for something. Okay, guys, I will send out, let me write down everybody who's on here. So. Okay. Kay, Joe, Sean, Jamie, Edward, and Neil. Okay. Sean, can you click that back open to where we just have the full screen? Yeah, thanks. So I'll send that out to everybody on that. If you have any questions, one of the things I think we might do, there's a, well, first of all, if you have any questions, give me a call because I'll send that out, and it's pretty much what Sean said, but it's in paper form. So you can just kind of look at it and go by it. But I think what Sean showed is it's not that difficult. You just go and click into where you're supposed to be. I didn't know that there was a business app.
Mhm.
So do you go to the business app through wherever you get your apps? And I guess that's just, you just search and download it. Okay.
Yeah, just search Google Business and it'll pull it up.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
The only thing I might want to add was that I've been having some issues with obtaining reviews from people on Google. I mean, I went through several past customers and asked them to send me a Google review by sending them the link, and it wasn't working. For a while, I talked to Brian Stone, and he said he never had a problem with it. But apparently, there was some problem because even my mother was a client, and she couldn't get the review on. And so a few weeks later,
Was it
was
it just not posting? Was it
they were writing it, but it wasn't posting.
Okay.
And so a couple of clients were kind of frustrated with the attempt to do it because they were trying to do it, but it wasn't posting, or the link wasn't finishing. And so a couple of months later, or a few weeks later, it started kicking in. Some of the reviews that some people had written had actually posted gradually. So I went back to some of the same people that I'd asked to give me an initial review and asked them if they would do it over again. And so there might be some trial and error with getting it done. Yeah. I wasn't sure if there was something I was doing wrong with the link or something that they were doing wrong with the link, but you might want to kind of experiment with it working because it's not foolproof. I've gotten several more reviews on. Some of them are pretty lengthy, but they're really good. But I really had a problem with it working. And the second thing with the videos is that Zillow would allow you to do a 2-minute, I think it's a 2-minute video that they would post to your listing website. And it's only 2 minutes because it's, it was free for agents that were their premier agents. And I was doing that for my listings because they felt that listings that have videos get more activity or more focus than ones that don't. And that same video I learned was created, I think it was on a YouTube channel. I could attach it to a YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel is what sets up the video. And if you have a listing, you can attach the videos to your Google page.
Okay, that's good to know too. The other thing I was going to tell you guys, we're kicking off a vendor contest. Jamie, I think, is sending out, either she sent it out yesterday, is going to send it out today. It's pretty easy though. I think there's 10 vendors that they're identified that are part of this contest, and you get a point if you refer them. You notify them, say, hey, I got a client for you, and if that turns into business, that's 3 points. So you'll collect points. They'll keep your own tally too, because they're going to keep a tally. If you keep a tally on your points, and then they're going to give me their points, I think weekly, and then we'll send it out to everybody on how they're doing with points. At the end of that, it'd be November 15th. We're having our holiday party at Park, November 18th. So there'll be, I think, 10 or 12 prizes. It's like $75 or more that the vendors have. And so the first prize, let me say that again. The first place person will get a pick from all the 10 prizes. Everybody else, however many points you have, is how many times you go into the hat to have your name drawn out, and there'll be 9 other prizes. So it might be fun. So it was just something different that we're doing with a couple of the vendors came to us and said, hey, you want to do something fun for the fall? So see if we can build closer to the agents. So that's what it is. But we're going to post that on our Facebook agent site for what I just said as far as kind of the layout of what it is. And then I think everybody will get an email today too. If you have any questions on it, don't hesitate to give me a call. But it's pretty simple, just point driven. Referral turns into business, and we'll go until November 15th.
So is it referring clients and other agents to them, or?
No, just clients. Yeah, just clients. If you've got somebody, and it could be an older client, it could, it could be somebody you've worked with in the past. It doesn't, whoever it is, it's a client, 1 point, 3 points for business.
Can we get a list?
I
maybe?
have an idea that I was trying to put together, like go in and meet up with a vendor and kind of like do a little quick video with them and post that.
Yeah.
So if you need to meet with a good lender here, I recommend, and they'll, maybe have a little quick speech as well with me.
Well, it's kind of going back to what Jose was talking about in the last Business Your Ways. Create that world where you look like and are the team captain of all these people that get everybody over the finish line. I think Sean does a really good job with that, with his newsletter, that he kind of shows his brand logo around all these other people. And it appears, and it is, that he's got this whole team that he works with. I think it's a great idea, Jamie, because there's no reason why somebody wouldn't want to be promoted by you, and it just creates a stronger relationship with you too. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for being on. It's good seeing everybody.
Yeah.
Be good. All right. Thanks, Sean, for helping.
Oh, sure.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Brent.
Have a great day. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
See you guys.
Sean,
Bye.
Brent.